Okay, guys, here we have the Panama flag. So, I'd like to tell you some of my personalized tips regarding traveling specifically to Bocas del Toro. Now, there's many tour groups who offer tours around to the different islands. To access most of the beaches from Bocas Town, you need to take a ferry over. Now, that ferry can cost anywhere from $1 American to $5. To get to Bastimentos Island, it's $5. And I just wanted to warn you guys about something. So, Bastimentos Island has, I believe, two main beaches. I tried going to Wizard Beach from when I got off at the from the ferry on the main street. There's only one main street, if I remember correctly. And so, to get into Wizard Beach, you have to do a bit of a hike through a forest-looking area. And when it's wet outside, it's actually quite dangerous to walk up the slope. You have to be careful. And when you get to up the slope, there's a sign that warns you. And so when I saw this sign, decided to turn back. I no longer felt safe walking to Wizard Beach because the sign said don't walk here past 4 p.m. It said carry identification on you, let somebody know where you're going, when to expect you back, don't bring any personal belongings with you. So right off the bat, I was thinking, okay, this is probably not a good idea because now it's past 4 o'clock and this place seems desolate. So I didn't feel comfortable walking alone through this path. I didn't know who's there or if there's any safety issues, but my instinct told me to turn back, which I did. I later went on to Google reviews and looked at Wizard Beach. Lo and behold, it turns out that several people had their belongings stolen or had been robbed at Wizard Beach. So I don't know, go in groups and don't take anything with you, just the basics. Wizard Beach also doesn't have any type of tourism infrastructure. So, as far as I know, no restaurants or anything like that. They might just have a few beach sellers. But yeah, just something to be aware of, which is unfortunate, because the people who live on Bastimentos Island, they're very nice people. There's some small businesses there that I'd like to support. I had a really, really awesome smoothie there. It was a papaya smoothie at this restaurant overlooking the water. And it was, yeah, it's a really peaceful place because there's not much tourism. It's very quiet, but you have to be careful. Another tip is taking the tours. So if you walk along the main street, you'll notice lots of businesses tooting tours around to Starfish Island, to Zapatillas Beach, which is like my favorite beach in the Bocas area, and to Starfish Beach, Bird Island, Ile de Pajaros, and several other places. Now you have to differentiate between Starfish Beach and Starfish Island. Starfish Island, you don't actually get off the boat. You're just in the boat going very slowly looking at the starfish from inside the boat. Starfish Beach, you can see starfish in the beach itself, but you also, if you're staying in Bocas Town, you can take a bus and get to Starfish Beach, but you're not guaranteed to see starfish. Another thing to be aware of is make sure that you ask exactly what's included in the tour. And make sure you got a receipt because if something were to happen, like an accident, you need to have some type of proof that you've been on this trip so you can submit to your insurance for a travel related health or, God forbid, but some type of claim. A lot of these places work with cash and they don't want to provide a receipt, but I insisted. Some of these places don't provide enough life jackets per passenger. So I had a situation where either the life jacket was broken, it was not functional, or they didn't have enough per person in the boat. That the captain had to give me his life jacket, and somebody else volunteered their life jacket up to my friend. And I just thought that was not cool because I had asked beforehand, are there enough life jackets for every passenger? And they told me yes, verbally. They also said, oh, we're providing drinks. They're supposed to provide drinks because it's really hot. So water and some soft drinks. But they don't advertise this. They're not going to tell you. But they do have a cooler on the boat with some drinks. Sometimes they don't have enough for everybody. So you need to ask and make sure that they have enough life jackets and drinks for people. who are actually coming on the tour. Um, the life jacket thing, I mean, some of these rides are really bumpy. So going to, I think it was the Bird Island, that ride was really bumpy, and I'm glad that I had a life jacket. The tour group that I can recommend that was the most professional and that was very honest is Transport Maritimo Valencia. This one was recommended by my guest house host. And so I trusted him and I went with this one. And the representative from this company was straight up like, you know what, this tour advertised slots, but there's actually no more slots left. The Falcons ate them all, so you're not going to see any on this tour. And I really appreciated that honesty. Some of the other companies are very unprofessional, sorry to say. And once they get your money, they just don't care about you. So just be careful with which company you're taking and do your research and walk around. And, some of them are cheaper by $5. There's a reason why they're cheaper. You can't, like, if you're not going to have a proper life jacket, it's not worth the $5 risk, to be quite honest with you. So just because a company is few dollars cheaper doesn't mean that you should go with that one, because whenever you do adventure sports and take risky activities, like these boat tours, there's a certain level of risk involved, and you want to know that there's a certain level of safety for the money that you're paying. Hopefully this helps.